How good is Hayward?
He's very good. He's a very good second-tier star, and I think, you know, he's kind of the big story now because if you look at most of the free agents this summer, the feeling has been that they're mostly going back to their team. Steph, Durant, we knew they were going back. Blake, you felt strongly that he was going back. Kyle Lowry. Chris Paul, even though he got traded, there was a feeling he might go back. And then Paul George and Jimmy Butler were traded. It felt like they were on the market, but they really weren't. So I think Gordon Hayward is really the caliber of player of a Paul Millsap.
Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty
That's
high
a
praise.
good, really good
Yeah,
player.
yeah.
He's a really good player.
But that's not franchise altering.
No. No. Well, he'll help. On the championship team, he's probably the third best player. And that's even if LeBron's your best player. He's still probably the third best player. I've actually got him ranked as the seventh best small forward in the league. So I've got LeBron, KD, Kawhi, Giannis, Antetokounmpo, Paul George, Jimmy Butler. I put Hayward slightly ahead of Melo just because of age.
Right.
Really?
But I think Melo's better.
I don't
but
know
at
if I
this
can go
age, you
there.
wouldn't go. Melo's a better pure scorer still.
Hayward is
And
better,
Hayward's not a great
all-around.
rebounder
Yeah.
either, but he's a playmaker, and I think he's ascending. You know, he's getting better every year. He's
Yes.
a pretty good three-point shooter.
So do you think you have him in your top 30 overall players? Top 40?
Yeah, I mean, without obviously counting it out, definitely top 40. Definitely top 40.
Okay, yeah,
And
top
probably
40. But it's
top
going to be
30,
hard. It's going to be
probably.
because when you think about it, you got him the seventh best small forward. Think about it, you didn't mention the point guards.
So if you got, just throw out maybe 10 point guards that are better? Or,
Okay, what about bigs? Anthony Davis, Boogie Cousins.
that's another
I mean,
10 power forwards and centers.
So
So
he in the maybe mid 30s.
30-ish, 30, 35-ish. Yeah. So I think he should go to Boston. I think he should definitely get out of Utah. Even though they're a good team, they're never getting out of the West.
No.
Can Gordon Hayward stand up to the pressure that he would inflict upon himself if all of a sudden he's viewed as the savior in Boston where Larry Bird once reigned?
He got
You
something.
think that's what he's going to be viewed as?
He got something. He got what Larry Bird had. His skin tone.
That's about it.
That's about it.
Let's be all the way real. We know how they feel about the Bobby Hulls, the Tom Bradys. Those guys they really embrace. So they will really embrace him. Now, if you're hoping for the second coming, stop.
But I think don't you think they're smart enough to know they're not putting him in Larry Bird's
Okay.
class?
Hey, they playing big video montages at Fenway Park. It got everybody tweeting about it.
All right, before I rank Gordon Hayward, and I've never been the biggest fan of him, even in his first year, out of Butler, but I do want to congratulate him on whatever he did to his game and his body last offseason. It was highly impressive because he went to one Kobe Bryant and got tutored in mid-range jump shooting. And I don't know how much time he spent, but I think a good amount of time with Kobe, who has taken Gordon under his wing. And it served him very well because he became a much better mid-range jump shooter, and he shot 40% from the three-point line, which is pretty great. But more important, you want to talk about a body transformation? Yeah. I don't know what weight room he went to, but man, he looks like an NBA player now. And do you remember him back in the first couple of years? Do you remember the Wet Willie incident with Delonte West when he got Wet Willied by Delonte? He looked like a little high school player. Do we have that?
I think it was the cut.
Here,
I think the cut. I think the moose.
Look.
Yeah, he got a different cut. Got a better cut now.
Yeah, but again, he just took it and walked away. And you both know you can't
should've
walk
fired
away
him.
from
He
that.
should've fired him.
That is Delonte West, though.
Okay,
I'd have
I
fired
got it. But you have to.
Delonte
You have
West.
to say no. You have to draw a line and say, I'm not going to take that from you.
That was a certified crazy brother.
So okay, he was certifiable. I mean, he was.
The crazy was getting knocked out too. I mean, think about it, Chris. I mean,
Not by
Skip,
Gordon Hayward.
Skip, you on the court. You a professional basketball player. You a grown A man, and somebody come stick their finger in your ear.
Would it have been better if he had manned up and then got knocked out right then and there? Would
Just
that have
swing on
been
it.
better for
You got to
it?
swing on him first, though, Chris.
You just have to defend yourself
got to.
in your rep. You just have to say no, or they're going to bully you from that point forward because he's bullyable at that point with that body. But can we see a picture of him now? I mean, just this guy's impressive now.
Hey, you got that hair. Look at that hair, Skip.
Yeah.
And also, he was dunking on people last year.
Okay, he was. So whatever he did, I think he maxed out however good he can become. And he averaged 22 and 5 rebounds, which is okay. And I'm going back, I think 3 years ago, he averaged like 5.6 assists. So he can pass it a little bit. Not bad. But then I look at this year's Eastern Conference All-Star team, now missing, obviously, Jimmy Butler, Paul George, and Millsap. But would I take him over any of those three? I wouldn't take him over Paul Millsap. I just think he's such he is an NBA man body low post scorer that's gold. He is a really good underrated player
underrated.
to me, and he's going to serve Denver well. I think Denver's going to be pretty good in a really tough West.
I think there'll be a playoff. I think there'll be a playoff team.
Probably, but you look at the
7 or
West,
8.
it's going to be
But
tough.
7 or 8.
I think the Clippers are still around there. I think Minnesota's in.
Yes.
Clippers, I think, are still hanging.
Okay, so I'm looking at Eastern Conference All-Stars. Would I take Gordon Hayward even now over Carmelo? I'm sorry, I just can't do it. Over DeRozan, no. Over Freak, no. Over Kyle Lowry, again, we're going point guard, but I just wouldn't. Isaiah, no.
John Wall.
Kimba, no.
You don't
John
even
Wall,
think
no.
he's a definite all-star in the East. I do think he'll be a definite all-star.
Okay.
Ain't nobody in the East.
That's what.
Would you take him over Kevin Love? I'm a no, because Kevin Love is 6'10". Now, Gordon's 6'8". You got to give him that. He doesn't play that big, but I wouldn't take him over Kevin Love, who can now shoot threes and get you double-doubles, you know?
Because the thing, I mean, him going to being an all-star in the East is like me being valedictorian, and I'm the only one in the class. I mean, what have I accomplished? I mean, him being now, if he were to go back to Utah with Jimmy Butler also there, Kawhi and all these guys, and Paul George, he make the all-star team. Now we talking.
He wouldn't.
That's the thing. My thing is, when I look at him, and I think he would be better served in Miami because I believe Dragic is a better get you the ball, put you in position to score than Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas is only making Isaiah Thomas better. And you got Whiteside, which was his Rudy Gay.
If Deion Waiters goes back, then you got something, because you might end up being about the third best player on that team. To me,
you think Waiters is better than him?
I love Deion Waiters because you know what? He's got guts.
He does,
He's got
but
big.
He's got better. Hayward's got better skills. Are you right? All that about Waiters.
But
What if I could pour Deion Waiters into Gordon Hayward, you would have something.